Good evening, everyone. This is Bill Breeden. Welcome to Constellation Tour number 18. Tonight we're going to look at Lyra, the Lyre, in the northern celestial hemisphere. Lyra is a very small constellation, but it packs a wallop. It's pretty, it's easy to find, it has a lot of pretty objects and deep sky objects in it. So we have our Stellarium software set up for a 60-degree field of view from a moderately light polluted location in the suburbs. We have it set for July 7th at about 10:37 p.m. And the reason for that is because Lyra is best viewed from July through September. Now, it's a very northerly constellation, so from mid-northern latitudes, it's actually visible well before July and even well after September. So you can view it for many months of the year, but it is best viewed from July through September. So let's go ahead and find Lyra. And the best way to do that is to look for the summer triangle. So we're facing east, so we're gonna look high up and we're gonna find the summer triangle. And the brightest member of the summer triangle is the star Vega. And the star that's farther out is Altair, and the third star is Deneb in Cygnus the Swan. So Lyra is the brightest member. So let's have a look. Vega is the brightest member. So let's have a look at Lyra. Lyra is mesmerizing because just sit back in a chair outside with just the unaided eye and just look at the area around Vega. And you can see this really attractive little parallelogram of 4 stars just next to Vega. That is Lyra. Very small constellation, but it does have a lot to see. So let's have a look at the constellation lines. And you can see here it is depicted as a small parallelogram connected to Vega. That's pretty much all there is. Here are the boundaries for Lyra. So there's some space surrounding the parallelogram, but this encompasses the whole constellation here. So we do have several double stars in Lyra. So let's start with Beta Lyrae. And you can see that Beta is one of the stars of the parallelogram. So let's have a look at that through the finder. Now its proper name is Chiliac, but we usually just call it Beta. There are a lot of background stars in this part of the sky. So let's have a look at Beta through the eyepiece. And you can see that it splits really nicely in a 13mm eyepiece. Let's have a look at it through a lower power eyepiece. There it is simulated through a 19mm panoptic. And even less power, a 24mm panoptic, shows you a few more background stars as well. The Lyra is just one of those constellations that you can just enjoy a view of with the unaided eye. Let's find another double star. Delta is also a double star. And it's another star in the parallelogram. Now, this looks like it's going to be a really pretty one. Look at that through the finder. That's gorgeous. And through a 24mm panoptic, this is really a pretty field. Now, I don't know if this one splits again. Let's see. Yeah, this is the double that they're referring to. So the blue one is delta 1 Lyra, and the gold one is delta 2 Lyra. It looks like each one of these splits again. I don't know how easy that is. Let's find out here. Now, they must be really tight doubles. So in general, the double star is delta 1 and delta 2. Let's see if delta 2 splits. Well, they're listed as double stars individually, but I believe what the software is referring to is these two here. Let's see, these two stars here. That looks like it would make a really pretty target to show at a public outreach event because of the color difference, blue and gold. That's just that really makes the color stand out. So when you get people that don't think there's color in the sky, you show them one of these double stars with some contrast, and people are amazed by that. Okay, let's return to a naked eye view here. And we are going to take you to a dark sky site. So let's make it dark. And now you're gazing up into the sky from a dark site. And you've got the beautiful Milky Way here. Let's see how high up we are. Yeah, we're pretty high. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty high up. Okay. Let's take a look at Epsilon Lira, which is probably the most well-known double star in Lyra. And it looks like it's right below Vega. It's not part of the parallelogram. And you can see that through the finder scope it splits. So it's a pretty easy to split double. But its nickname is the double double. And that is because when you split it through the finder, you see a double star. But if you look at it through an eyepiece, each one of these stars splits again. Let's see, this is 162 light years from Earth. And this one's 160 light years from Earth. So they are certainly related. Let's have a look at it through the eyepiece. Let's do a little bit more power here. And there's the double double through a 13mm. And it's showing them as fifth magnitude. Now I know that through a medium to high power eyepiece, each one of these stars does split again. Let's see if we can get close enough to them for Stellarium to do that for us. Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort, but you can see that each one of these doubles does split again. Let's try this one. Yeah, this one does too. That one was a little bit easier to do. So that's the double double, located about 160 light years from Earth, shining at magnitude 5. So it makes a really good binocular object if you want to see the first split. And with a high power eyepiece, you can split each one of these into another double star. Okay, I promised you a lot of fun with Lyra. There are two really well-known Messier objects within the boundaries of Lyra, surprisingly, even though it is a small patch of sky, it does include two Messier objects. So let's find the first one, M56, a globular cluster. And you can see it looks like this one would be easy to star hop to. You just find the parallelogram, find the line of the parallelogram that's farthest from Vega, and just continue away from Vega downward about two more lengths of that side. So let's see what's there. And there's our view through the finder scope. You can just see a fuzzy patch. So this is a globular cluster, and it's located 32,000 light years from Earth with a brightness of magnitude 8.4. So let's have a look through an eyepiece. And that's simulating a view through a 13 millimeter eyepiece. So this is a small globular, and it's an average distance from Earth, 32,000 light years, average as globular clusters go. So take a look at that one when you have a chance. And now let's look for one of the most popular Messier objects, M57, the Ring Nebula. And this object gives you an opportunity to view a dying star. And not only is it a star at the end of its life, but it's pretty far along through the end of its life, because rather than just appearing as a regular solid planetary nebula, it's actually expanded enough where it's in the shape of a ring. So let's find M57. And you can see again, this would be an easy star hop. It's between these two stars in the parallelogram. And here's the view of it from a dark site with through the finder scope. M57 is listed at magnitude 9. Its distance from Earth is 2,800 light years. Now, what's interesting about M57 is, even though it's a 9th magnitude planetary nebula, it is surprisingly easy to see, even from not only the suburbs, but from a pretty light polluted city. And I'm not sure why. Why would a 9th magnitude object be easy to see? But it is. I've shown people this from a city park at night. So I wonder if Stellarium would simulate that. Let's return back to the suburbs. It does. It simulates it. You can clearly see that even from the suburbs, you can see the ring of the Ring Nebula. Now here it is through a 13 millimeter Nagler. You really do need to put medium or medium high power on it. With a low power eyepiece, through say for example a 24 millimeter eyepiece, it's going to look, this doesn't simulate it quite right. It's going to just look like a fuzzy circle, maybe like even Neptune. So if you want to actually see the ring formation with sort of an empty spot in the middle, you need a medium or medium high power eyepiece. So let's go back to a dark site and take a look at it. And now from a dark site, you can admire M57 in all of its glory for a very long time. I've studied it for 30 minutes at a time from a dark side. It is mesmerizing. You're looking right at a dying star casting off its outer layers into space. Okay, let's have another magnificent view of Vega from a dark, Lyra from a dark site. It's high up in the sky tonight, just outside the band of the Milky Way. It's a beautiful area of the sky. You can see the parallelogram here just next to Vega. So this concludes my tour of Lyra tonight. Good night and good seeing.